Well, thank you very much, Nicole, and thank you also to all of the speakers, finalists, and guests this evening for making this a very memorable, meaningful, and powerful event today. To close, I want to spend just 4 minutes of your time to sort of speak about the Allard Prize's work in a broader context, to situate, if you like, the evening that we've had today within a wider range of objectives that we have at the prize. So if we could change the screen, we have 4 circles that we use to describe our broader prize, and I want to speak to each of them for about 1 minute. The first is, we're in the business of trying to support the emergence of leadership, because we think changing cultures of corruption involves the emergence of leaders, and that it's exceptionally difficult for leaders to emerge because of the sorts of forces that we've heard about. And so we see our prize as addressing those forces in 3 particular dimensions. First, the financial amount that you've heard that we give to each of these recipients is about affording them a degree of financial independence to offset what is often a very substantial financial cost in speaking truth to power in corrupt societies. We're also interested in amplifying their voice, so literally transforming their political agenda into something bigger and more powerful. We are literally giving them a platform internationally in the hopes that it augments their influence. And then finally, we're also interested in protecting them. Interested in protecting them because we raise the cost of political retaliation against them. And so in all of those dimensions, we're trying to think about and explore ways to empower leadership to continue to speak out and to drive lasting change, because we do think leadership is a crucial element. The second objective in the second of our circles is that we are trying to inspire citizens. And by citizens, we mean citizens everywhere. We do this by hiring professional videographers to produce short films like the ones that you saw this evening, with the aspiration to really generate a moving personal narrative about how it is to combat corruption in various different societies throughout the world. Our conviction is that sharing these sorts of stories can spark hope, that sharing these sorts of stories can nurture courage, and that it can inspire people, the millions of people who watch our videos, to emulate that type of courage and take principled political action. Courage, after all, is contagious. The third objective that we have for ourselves is to showcase leading thinking. And Sarah Che's talk this evening is an excellent example of that desire on our part. We also want to educate, inspire, and challenge new ideas about how to be addressing corruption. Corruption is a collective problem, and it requires great insight and imagination to be thinking about how we can combat it together. And our final objective, objective 4, is that we want to help curate a movement. So we want to do this by playing our part to support existing networks that are diverse and large, and we want to bring together diplomats, academics, leaders of civil society organizations, especially students, and other people interested in these sorts of ideas to jointly forge a united front against corruption everywhere. Corruption is a collective problem and also requires collective responses. So that's a little bit about the Allard Prize and how this particular evening forms part of that objective. Those are our goals long term. We do need your help in at least 3 dimensions. The first dimension is we would love you to make a charitable donation to the Allard Prize for International Integrity. We have a vision about where that might go. We want to build the Allard Prize into, to have an endowment that we can continue this type of work and grow this type of work in perpetuity, regardless of the opposing political forces. And so we want to think of the Allard Prize as a sort of an eternal flame, picking up on our flame motif, that lasts forever, a tribute to truth, justice, and rule of law, especially in times where they're so severely under attack. It is, if you like, a sort of a gift that our generations will give to future generations by enabling this thing to continue forever. And so if you're able to make a donation, there are various placards around with this QR code. You can also text Allard Prize to 44321. We also have a website you can make donations through. We're very grateful to have a fiscal sponsor here in the United States, the Fund for Constitutional Government. Thank you for being here and supporting us, who will issue tax receipts for those donations. Thank you, Bruno. And even the smallest donation is meaningful. Ultimately, we all now have to think about financing truth, integrity, and rule of law as best we can, especially at this moment of time. The other ways in which you can support, less costly, please follow us on social media. We really want to sort of broadcast as widely as we can these sorts of stories so more people are informed and influenced by them. Also, if you're willing, we would love your reaction to the evening tonight. If you're comfortable being recorded for 5 seconds and saying something brief about what you liked, about the organization, about the prize, about the recipients, we will use some of those video recordings publicly to showcase our work and invite others to support and follow us also. That then is the end of the evening, save one last thing where I have to thank a number of different people. Firstly, I want on all of our behalves to thank our laureates. Please join me one more time in giving them a round of applause. Not just for their courage, but also for putting up with our videographers, for all of the admin that was involved in setting up these links. We had lawyers involved deciding about whether or not they would attend or not. So thank you to them. Also, I have to extend a major thank you to our brilliant manager, Preet Noor. Where is Preet? Please stand up, Preet. I can't see her now. Oh, she's waving at the back. We will acknowledge you later as well, Preet, if people can't see you. She has done an unbelievable amount of work to make this happen over a very sustained period of time. So thank you so much, Preet. Nothing here would have happened without you. And the final thank you is a thank you to you, not just for attending, but also for supporting truth, justice, rule of law, integrity, all of these sorts of values that are under such scrutiny presently. I hope you leave with a renewed sense of courage. I hope you leave with a new sense of hope and of collective strength in the work that remains to be done. Please enjoy the remainder of your evening and join us in our work over the next coming years. Thank you so much for being here.